Hello there. What we have here is the main section of the slatted bed base for our very small camper van. I wanted to make a very streamlined version of the slatted beds I've been seeing on YouTube. This one is made, mostly, from a 5 foot by 5 foot sheet of 3/4 inch Baltic birch plywood. The backrest is made from 1/2 inch plywood with 3/4 inch ribs on the back, which I had hoped would be enough to keep it rigid when leaning back in bed, but it still had some give, so I added these brackets. The middle one is less elegant, but is between the two pillows, so I don't really feel it when lying in bed. These pieces can be stored in the basement as is, but in theory the legs can be unscrewed and the brackets removed, if ever we wanted to pack it flat. For the front edge, I used a piece of 3/4 inch aluminum angle, which will hook onto a bench to complete the bed. The legs were cut to fit the shape of the floor inside the van. I made a template of the ups and downs and worked to eventually have a level bed. I spent a lot of time making models and looking at other examples. This design is based on an image of an expandable bed, which no doubt was cut on a CNC machine. For my version, the cuts were going to have to be done by making plunge cuts with a circular saw. They all had to be perfectly parallel or the bed wouldn't slide. I'm actually a very inaccurate person when it comes to things like that, so I got my much more meticulous husband to make the cuts because I was too chicken. One very useful trick I saw online was to put washers between the slats and the crossbar to give a little bit of play between the fixed slats and the bar to prevent them being too tight and not sliding easily. It takes 2 people to lift the bed into the back of the van, and then it slides into place. And it fits even with the backrest attached. I planned the leg placement to have at least one leg lined up with the seat anchors on the floor, and I cut the end of that leg to hook into place. This stops it from sliding forwards, and this bracket stops it from sliding back. From inside, you can see how the profile of the leg matches up with the floor. 2 of the support ribs on the back of the backrest extend all the way down to the floor, and these are screwed to the back of the outer legs. This is the bench. It is 48 inches wide and 22 inches deep. It was built to be big enough to store our 100-watt solar panel inside, but I've since decided to mount that panel on the roof of the van. So now I store our smaller panel and a folding table in that slot. This is the cleat where the aluminum angle hooks in to hold the 2 parts of the bed together. I cut a rabbet out of the cleat to accept the angle. It fits over the in-the-floor storage compartment, the back edge sitting just before the second set of hinges. It was designed to allow access to the underfloor storage with the bench in place, but I forgot to cut away the inner legs before assembly and had to mangle them out with a reciprocating saw, so that's why the cuts look a bit ragged. Our clothing drawers are made to go into the space under the bench, but with them removed, we have easy access to the storage underneath. The bench height was planned to match the height of the extended bed, to have a good continuous surface. These are what I've come to refer to as the ears. Their purpose is to provide a place to attach the gooseneck LED reading lights and the double USB sockets, which we use for plugging in fans and charging our phones. I used spade connectors on the wires to allow the ears to be disconnected and removed for storage. They hook over the edge of the headboard and attach with screws. This is the second version of the backrest cushion. The first one just attached with Velcro, and I didn't pad the top edge of the backrest. This one uses my new best friends. Screw-in heavy-duty snaps to hold it in place. Next comes the mattress, which is a shikibuton, which is a thinner Japanese-style futon made of cotton and eucalyptus fiber. We just unroll it and slide it into place. Next comes sheets, pillows, and a duvet. And there you have it, our cozy bedroom. The armrests and cup holders act as bedside tables, and we usually move the front seats all the way forward to have a little extra room for our feet. Now, if we want to convert the bed into a couch, we just fold the futon into uneven thirds like this, slide it almost all the way back, slide in the frame, then the edge of the futon tucks into this gap, and then the folded part can be plumped into a vaguely triangular backrest, and voila, our comfortable couch. The bench can either be used as a footrest, a low table, or another place to sit. And if we plan to eat supper in the van, we can also set up our small camping table. Hope you've enjoyed watching this, and I'll be back later with more videos showing the inside of the van. Thanks for watching.